Welcome to the Lindblad Expeditions Traveling Owls webinar with Destination Debut. My name is Shannon Burnett, and I am the Assistant Director with Alumni Programs in charge of the Traveling Owls portfolio. Before I turn it over to Lindblad, I did want to provide some friendly Zoom reminders for today's mini webinar. We ask that you keep your audio on mute unless you are speaking or asking a question to cut down on any background noise and to allow for the presenter to remain visible for those watching in speaker view. Lindblad is going to give their presentation and then leave time for questions at the end. However, if you think of anything while they're presenting, you're welcome to write that in the chat, and I will circle back and make sure we address that at the end. Once the presentation is done and we've answered any questions in the chat, you're welcome to unmute yourself and ask them questions directly. And now, without further ado, I'm handing the baton over to Lindblad Expeditions.
Why, thank you, Shannon. I'm Karen Kuttner with Lindblad, as you said, and I am Vice President of Affinity and Charter Sales, and truly delighted to be here with the Traveling Owls and thrilled to be co-sponsoring several different trips together. I'm here with two of my colleagues, Nicole Thornton, if you can raise your hand, Nicole. She's in charge of expedition development specifically for Iceland, which we'll be talking about this afternoon, and Ted Kennefick, who's the expedition manager for North and Central America. Thanks, Ted. Without further ado, I'm going to jump right in and share with you our webinar. Give you a little background first on Lindblad. We've been in business for 54 years, and Lars Erik Lindblad and his son Sven Lindblad, our founder, has been really known in many circles as the father of ecotourism. He is one that has been the very first person to bring lay travelers to the Galapagos and Antarctica. And we are really, really excited for what he has been able to bring. Has introduced, a little bit stuck. Hang on, we have a little technical difficulty here. Sorry about this. We have a little, we have covered over 40 amazing destinations around the world, covering 7 continents on over 15 ships that we own and operate. What makes us really, really extraordinary, and I think one of the things that is our key signature components, is that we have an extraordinary team of experts. They're talented. They come from diverse disciplines, from ornithologists, botanists, geologists, marine mammalogists, and more. And not only are they really strong experts in their field, but they're extremely passionate, and they are committed and dedicated to making the trip just fun, interesting, and stimulating for everybody on board. And you combine that with the strong expertise of the faculty at Rice, from Professor Scott Solomon in Belize and Professor John Anderson in Iceland, and you have this incredibly rich, very rewarding experience. One other program that we have on board is our certified photo instructor on board every trip, there to share photo tips and hints and give you a chance to kind of learn, whether you're using your iPhone or whether you have a very sophisticated camera lens. We are there to provide that expertise and experience with you. And how we get around, we use our Zodiacs, which is a rubber landing craft that you can see on the screen, as well as we use kayaks, and we deploy stand-up paddle boards, and snorkel gear will be on hand as well. One of the things that I think makes a signature program for us is that on board, you'll find that we have a really deep and rich undersea program. We'll have an undersea specialist on board every departure. And as you can see in the screen, we have lots of cool tools to help enhance the experience, from video microscopes to underwater cameras and hydrophones and more. We'll capture images under the sea and then bring the footage back to the comforts of our lounge to share them with all of you. In addition, we have a wellness program every morning. If you are interested, there are opportunities to go up on deck and have a stretch class before the early morning breakfast. And we'll lead walks of different paces. For those that want a faster paced walk, a calorie burner, they can. And those that would like to stroll, we can do that as well. As you can see on the screen, we also have a full-blown wellness program, which includes massage treatments and facials and more. Cuisine, a very big part of what we do and what we're proud of. And we onboard all of our programs, we source locally, and we take great effort to buy lots of different products and fish right from the areas that we visit. And we incorporate a very strong regional flair onto every program that we have. And on board, you will find that it's one seating and it's rich, plentiful, and delicious. And one thing we're very, very proud of is we have incorporated a very green business practice into everything we do, both on the ship and in our offices. And we're proud to say that we're 100% carbon neutral, and we have eliminated the use of plastic on all of our ships, as well as incorporated many programs to really look at the areas we visit to give back along the way. And our programs today include the very first one, which is Belize. And we thought no better way to give you a taste of what you'll experience on board than to give you a very brief 30-second video of little capturing of what you'll experience when you're there. Very short and a quick taste, but I hope it gave you a little sense of one of the amazing places in this world. Your program is coming up January 15th to the 20th, and I am going to turn it over now to our expert. His name is Ted Kennefick, and he is the expedition manager who has really curated and crafted this extraordinary program. Ted, take it away.
Yes, hello all. Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you may be. Really excited to be here this morning and talk about this fantastic program, which we have, as Karen mentioned, curated and developed, and really feel we have it fine-tuned to where we just want it. As you can see, it's a holistic approach to Belize, with the reef and the land, and also the Tikal, Guatemala portion as well. Really, one of the big highlights, and what everybody thinks of course, when they're thinking of Belize, is the Belize Barrier Reef and the fantastic snorkeling opportunities that offers. And certainly that's a very, very exciting story. In 2018, UNESCO actually took this off of its list of World Heritage Places in Danger. So that's a fantastic conservation and environmental success story. And certainly we feature the Belize Barrier Reef extensively on this program. Beginning with the snorkeling, the undersea component that we start with along the reef, the fantastic wildlife that we experience, as well as we travel, really the length and breadth of the Belizean Barrier Reef, of the Mesoamerican reef system. And as you can see, it's not only the undersea life, it's what flies in the air and what nests in these trees. And this is the red-footed booby, famous red-footed boobies of Half Moon Key, Belize. And go to an observation platform on the island. You can see the island here, and we and view those red-footed boobies as they're nesting. I'm going to go ahead and stop and turn off my video for a second so you all can just look at the images, because they're really, really fantastic. As we move through the itinerary, we see just the really wonderful tropical destination. It's going to be nice to kind of escape the Texas winter, escape from the East Coast or the Midwest or wherever you may be, to get out in the sun and get onto this barrier reef. The trip is a holistic approach to this region. And that's what I really love about it. And that's what we fine-tuned over the years. We have an inland component where we stop and we spend the day hiking in the jungles and experiencing the waterfalls of Belize as we move up and away from the coast, because again, that is providing that holistic Belizean experience. The wildlife, again, the terrestrial wildlife we experience along the way is just fantastic. Take a look at this guy, black howler monkey, and he's photographed actually along Monkey River. Hearing this animal call in the morning when we visit is just out of this world. The roar carries across the canopy, it carries across the jungle and across the river as we travel via our local boats we use in the Monkey River area, aptly named, of course, Monkey River. As we move through, we hope to see, and we have pretty good chances to see, this iconic keel-billed toucan. It really is one of the symbols of Belize, one of the iconic animals that we may encounter. And you see this, and you can just take it in right there, take in the colors of this fantastic species. It's really a stunner, as birders would say. And also there's stuff to look for on the ground as well too. It's not only in the air, it's not all on the reef. This fantastic green iguana was photographed in Belize as well on, I believe, the Monkey River excursion, where you see them kind of hanging out in trees, and it's really a lot of fun. But, you know, there's more to it. And Mayan history and Mayan culture is a big part of this region as well. So we take we travel after the program. This is a post extension, if you will, but it's really part of the 9-day program. And that's to travel up to the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Tikal. And, you know, we all know about Tikal. It's fantastic. What a place to just go and sit and imagine what this incredible Mayan civilization must have been like. You know, the just fantastic iconic images. We have 3 days to explore this area, which is really cool. We get to have some personal interaction with some of the locals as well. And to kind of push that again, the birding out there is just out of this world as well. Again, encountering really colorful, fantastic species throughout, like this fantastic gartered trogon eyeing the camera with that beautiful sort of background there. It's really a fantastic itinerary. And also, we don't do just Tikal, we do Yasha, another ceremonial Mayan site, really the center of the Mayan civilization, inhabited from the 6th century all the way to the 10th century AD. Ceremonial center with superb temples, palaces, public squares, remains of dwellings are scattered throughout the surrounding countryside. And we really take it all in. It's a fantastic way to kind of finish the program. That is all going to be on National Geographic Sea Lion. And I'm actually going to let Karen now jump back in and describe some of the amenities of this intimate, charming ship that we love so much. Karen, take it away.
Ted, thanks so much. It really makes me want to go on this trip every time I hear you speak with such passion. And yes, this is your home away from home on our 31 guest, actually it's a 31 cabin, 62 guest American flag National Geographic Sea Lion. And she is a very nimble ship with a very shallow draft, ideally suited for exploring very remote places that most ships can't get access to. She's truly well loved by our university groups because of her size and really her sense of exclusivity. And she brings a wonderful sense of camaraderie along the way. I actually feel that it's a nice way to position her as a very, almost like a floating bed and breakfast, all with outside views and all of the cabins. She's extremely comfortable. And again, really wonderful environment with a 1-seating dining room and a lounge and a great place to just relax and be outside on deck. And we look forward to welcoming you on board. And now we will shift a little bit to Iceland, 2 very different parts of the world, but 2 areas that we are very excited to share with our traveling owls. And here's a brief 60-second or 30-second video. I hope that gave you a small, very quick taste of what our Iceland program is all about. It's coming up June 29th to July 4th, and we are truly excited to not only welcome your travelers for the first time, but I know we had a number of travelers that had hoped to join us in 2020, so hopefully they'll be able to join us this time. And with that, I'd love to welcome Nicole to jump in and share the program that you have really been personally involved in developing and designing as well. So thanks so much, Nicole.
Great, thanks, Karen. So welcome, everybody. I'm really excited to be presenting Iceland to you. So we're heading to the Northern Hemisphere from Ted's nice warm climate, and I'm going to take you through a little bit of Iceland. So as he did, I'm going to turn off my video as well so you can enjoy these really nice images. So they say good things come in small packages, and this is absolutely the case in short getaways. This wild escape to Iceland is a journey through some of Iceland's most incredible landscapes. We're going to see remote fjords, just born volcanic islands, thundering waterfalls. We're going to see a little bit of everything, even though this is a short voyage. So we're going to begin this voyage in Iceland's capital city of Reykjavik. You can't miss it. It's a wonderful city, and it's actually the northernmost capital in the world. So what we're going to do here is we're going to have an arrival day overview tour. We'll get to visit the main sites of the city, including what you see here, the Hallgrímskirkja Cathedral. And we'll also have a brief introduction to Nordic culture and history at the National Museum. And there we're going to see everything from Viking treasures, artifacts, and even whalebone carvings, which will be on display. Then in the afternoon, we're going to embark National Geographic Resolution, and we embark right in the city center, and you'll want to be on deck as we cast off. So first we're going to head north here, and we'll first set foot in the West Fjords. This region is one of Iceland's best kept secrets. It's really hard to get to over land, and thanks to that isolation, its wilderness is just unbelievably unspoiled and really, really well preserved. So here we're going to see incredible wildlife, and especially at the Latrumbjarg cliffs, which is what you see here. So these cliffs are over 1,200 feet high at their tallest, and they act as a really unique home to an incredible amount of seabirds, literally millions of them. And here we're going to see razorbills, kittiwakes, and of course puffins, which is what everybody really wants to see. And all of these birds nest within the steep cliffs here. So not only will we see this epic bird life on this voyage, we'll also see some really incredible geological features. The West Fjords is actually the oldest part of Iceland, and some of its rock formations are over 14 million years old. So all of the mountains and fjords that you'll see here, they were carved over these thousands and thousands of years by ice ages and glaciers, and that is what has created these really stunning landscapes that you'll see. So we're going to navigate through the West Fjords and its calm inner fjord systems, and we'll discover what lies beyond the coastline. So even though this region is very remote, our ship will allow us to navigate into these narrow, remote fjords and into small towns, and this way we can delve deeper into what Iceland has to offer. So we'll take advantage of the dramatic landscapes of the fjords to offer hiking, leisurely explorations of the tundra, photography of wildflowers. We might also spot some sheep in the country's popular Icelandic horses along the way. So as we continue our discovery of these incredible landscapes, we're going to visit Dynjandi Waterfall. It's one of the largest in the West Fjords and one of the most spectacular in the entire country. So most visitors, when they go to Dynjandi, they need to drive for literally hours along winding, nauseating roads in the West Fjords to get there. It probably takes 10 hours from Reykjavik to drive here. But we get here via this just seemingly effortless scenic cruise up Arnarfjord, or the fjord that it's located on. And we arrive right at her front doorstep at the base of the fjord. We get off the ship via Zodiac and we walk up to the base of the waterfall. So you'll actually be able to see the waterfall from the ship during our approach, which is just incredible. And then we get to walk to the base and hike along its 7 misting cascades. The main cascade is over 300 feet tall. It's really just incredible. So once we're done in the West Fjords, we're going to set course south toward the Westman Islands. And on our way, we're going to look out for white-beaked dolphins, harbor porpoises, minke whales, and many other types of marine life that are often spotted in the waters between the West Fjords and the Westman Islands. Then we're going to arrive in the Westman Islands, which are really fascinating. Their formation spans millennia. Some of these islands were formed over 11,000 years ago, but one of them actually just raised from the sea only 60 years ago. So it's a really fascinating place for geology. So our first stop there is Jaime. This is actually the site of a huge volcanic eruption in the 1970s that was all over the news at the time. And there we'll get to climb to the top of Mount Eldfjall, and we'll get to see an incredible view over the island. And we'll get to see really what happened during that eruption and how it affected the layout of the island and where people live. Then we're going to spend some time exploring Iceland's newest piece of real estate, Surtsey Island, and that was the one that was just formed in 1963. So the creation of this island actually took 4 years of just constant underwater eruptions to create the island and to make it grow and grow. So now the island is home to over 89 species of nesting birds, including the puffin that we saw already, as well as gray seals and harbor seals along the coast. So the island now is a really important and significant site for biological and ecological research, but we'll be able to get up close and personal via ship, and we'll sail around the island with just a perfect viewpoint on the decks of National Geographic Resolution. So to add to this already incredible onboard experience, we'll have expertly curated music by our in-house ethnomusicologist. His name is Jacob Edgar. Iceland has made a really great reputation for itself as a musical hotspot in recent years. So along the way, you'll have a chance to hear some of these musicians that are leading Iceland's musical revolution. So this voyage then will conclude in Reykjavik. And here we'll have another full day of exploration before heading home. And this will include a visit to the famous Blue Lagoon, where you'll have several hours to soak and just really enjoy the scenery and the location. So we also do have options to extend this expedition. We have 3 land extensions really to round out your experience of Iceland and to see anything that you haven't seen and that you want to delve into deeper. So that includes an extension to Iceland's Golden Circle, which is located just nearby Reykjavik. We have an extension that's a little bit longer to the Snæfellsnes Peninsula, which is in the northwest. And we also have an extension to Iceland's volcanic northeast. And these are all great options to extend your trip if that's something that you're interested in. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Karen to talk you through the beautiful brand new National Geographic Resolution. And we hope you'll join us in Iceland.
Nicole, thank you so much. That was a really great, comprehensive overview of an amazing program. And with that, I'm also just really excited to share a little bit more about the National Geographic Resolution. She's our brand new ship that will be delivered this November. So it will be her inaugural year that will have traveling owls on board. And she is 126 guest, truly next generation expedition ship. She's ideally actually purpose built for polar navigation, fully stabilized, highly strengthened ice class polar code with a patented X-bow, which you can see here. It's kind of a unique shape in the front. This is a specifically designed ship that we have literally made and designed for specifically to create kind of a powerful wave slicing approach so that you'll have a very smooth ride along the way. To give you a feel for the ship, we have gone with a Scandinavian inflected, kind of luxuriously appointed interiors. As you can see, she is absolutely stunning. But along the way, keeping in line with the Lindblad tradition, the emphasis has always been on the exterior and giving the attention to the world outside. So along the public rooms, the lounge, the dining room, and all of the staterooms, there'll be large picture windows to give you kind of a really great focus on the world outside and connect you to these stunning views. And with that, I hope and truly hope you'll be able to join us in Iceland this year. And we have a few minutes. I think, Shannon, you'll be happy with our with our ability to do this right on track. We'd love to open it up for questions and be on hand to help in any way that we can.
Yeah, y'all killed it. Y'all did such a great job. I only had one question come through directly to me, and it's just to confirm, is there an elevator on the ship used for the Iceland trip?
Nicole, do you want to jump in on that? I believe there is going to be one.
That's a great question. I believe there is too, but I do want to double check that. I'm about 99% certain that there is.
So the reason why we're kind of like this is we literally, you could look up the National Geographic Resolution. She's being built, finalized as we speak. And we do believe that there is an elevator, but we'll send you a quick chat back and let you know for sure.
Okay, great. And then how many passengers were allowed on that trip or on that
100
ship?
126 in total on board. Yeah. So.
Any other questions? You guys are welcome to take yourself off mute and ask them directly.
I've got a quick question. No, maybe this is the elephant in the room, but nobody knows what shape the pandemic is going to be in this time. What sort of policies are you envisioning for requiring vaccinations or other steps you might take?
Jim, thank you for asking the question, the elephant in the room type of question, and it's a great one. And we can share with you what our policies are right now. We're actually about to launch on June 4th in Alaska with 2 ships and in the Galapagos with 1 ship followed by others. So the policy that we have in place, which has been set forth by an entire team overseeing our safety protocol, which includes our board physician, who's been a consultant with us for 30 plus years, and team has put together the plan to have all of the crew and guests that join us be vaccinated, as well as having a negative test a few days before, and then be tested again when you get on board. So it's quite a comprehensive, very detailed plan, and it's available on our website, but I can also make it available to Shannon and to anybody who's interested so that you can see. It's really something that we've spent really the course of this past year putting together, thinking through how we're going to work on board the ship in terms of shore excursions, activities, even where and how we dock and what places where we start to go in terms of ports of call so that we can be very, very safe. That said, it's fluid. And as we know, things do continue to change. And while we know what we're putting in place right now for this summer, by the time we get to Iceland next summer, we do expect that there will be some changes to that as well.
Thank
Did that
you.
answer it? Even long-winded? Okay.
Great answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you.
Shannon, I did want to chime in and just say resolution does have an elevator. I was able to confirm that.
Perfect.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
You
Stephanie,
don't have to put in a change order.
That shouldn't take very long.
Stephanie asked if there was a daily itinerary / brochure available for these. And I know we're doing this event a little bit earlier than we normally do. As soon as we get those completely finalized, we upload them onto our website. But if there's anything, Karen, you guys have and you want to send it to me, I'm welcome to email it to everyone that's on this call.
Actually, we're finishing a finalized custom brochure for the Rice Travelers, which should be done by Monday. And it'll be a great way for you to be able to send it out to everybody on this call and others that would like it as well.
Great, thank you.
Sure.
We've got a minute left.
Oh my
Anyone
goodness.
want to race in for that final question?
Curiosity, why are all the ships named National Geographic?
That's a really great question. And the answer is that we have had a strategic alliance with National Geographic since 2004. And the partnership is deep and it runs widely across the entire society. And we have worked with National Geographic on everything from education to a shared conservation fund to science to media across the board. And so most of the ships that, well, certainly the ships that we own and operate have all National Geographic in the name.
Okay, we are right at time. And I want to thank Karen, Ted, and Nicole for their expertise, thorough presentation, and beautiful images that they were able to share. There is another question coming through the chat about extension on the trips. I don't know if that's something we could maybe cover in 30 seconds or so, or if you want, I can email you directly. What are y'all thinking?
These or for Iceland? Is it for one in particular or just both in general?
I do not know. Do you want to take yourself off mute?
There we go, Iceland.
Oh, Iceland. Perfect.
It will definitely, my 30-second spiel will not do them justice. So I can provide Shannon with a full itinerary for all three that are on offer. But very quickly, so the first one, the Golden Circle, is really a one-day extension based out of Reykjavik, and that's to see some of the main sites that are located on the Reykjanes Peninsula. And that's actually where the volcano is erupting now. So there's a lot of geothermal activity happening there. So we'll see geysers, waterfalls, just a lot of really incredible geological features just right near Reykjavik. The second extension is to Snæfellsnes, which sounds like what you say when you're sneezing. So we'll have a crash course in Icelandic on that extension, but that's a really incredible extension too. And on that extension, you'll truly see fire and ice. We're going to visit a glacier. We're also going to visit a couple of really incredible picturesque mountains in the region, and we'll see some great wildlife too. And there's also a hot spring excursion. And the last extension to the volcanic northeast is to another geothermal area in the northeast of Iceland. And there is a flight to get there. It's about a 40-minute flight from Reykjavik to Akureyri. And that's where we'll be based. And we'll be visiting Lake Mývatn with its mud pots, geysers, incredible wildlife. And then we'll also have some opportunities for visiting waterfalls and visiting some infinity, I guess, hot pools that I guess I would call them, overlooking the sea, which is just unbelievable. So all of them are very different, but great depending on what you want to add on to your voyage. But I'll send those detailed itineraries over so that they can be distributed.
Great. And are they all post trip, or are some of them pre-post? Is it a mix?
Yeah, it's a mix. The Snæfellsnes and Volcanic Northeast are post. I'll just double check on the Golden Circle, but I believe that one is actually pre.
Great. And if you guys have any additional questions, you're welcome to reach out to Lindblad directly. Their contact information is available on our website. But you're also welcome to email me at travelingowls@rice.edu, and I will provide an answer if I've got it, or work with Karen, Ted, and Nicole to get you an answer, or connect you with them directly if you'd prefer. I want to thank them again for this presentation, and thank you all for joining us and taking a little bit of time out of your day to spend with us. Hope to see you at future events, and goodbye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.